MPFL, who are now saying that they will be looking to withdraw from the league after what they say the league did not pay too much attention to them. They were supposed to honor a game in Borno, and that's against El Kanemi Warriors, but due to some logistic reasons, they could not honor the game. And to that effect, the league body sanctioned them, giving them 3 points and 3 goals deduction. And the bodies now said, look here, this is not okay with us. We wrote a memo to the administration telling them the reason why we cannot honor this game, and we asked them to move the game forward so that they can be able to play versus El Kanemi Warriors, and they can also play Barawa FC, 2 northern games at the same time. But a lot of football enthusiasts are saying if the league body had honored that particular agreement from Kun Khalifat, then other things we want to follow suit as well. Lots of stories coming through from the MPFL as well as the European scene on the show this morning. Sports in the Jiffy on Empire Radio 102.1 FM, 72 fast, a lot of facts, and I'll be making it compact for listening pleasure. So, your day judge is my name. Absolute honor to be your host on the show this morning. Here's a short reminder: you can join us live on our Facebook fan page at Impact Radio 102.1 FM. We're as well live on our YouTube channel at Impact 102.1 FM. To the switch of the back of the net this morning, we'll be getting the show on the road, bringing you top stories from the ever exciting, ever dynamic, and sometimes controversial world of sports. Bits and pieces on the show this morning, just so you know. And starting from other sports, we'll be starting from the world of boxing. Big stories coming through that US-based Nigerian heavyweight Efe Ajagba has now traveled the longest road of the three, but the 31-year-old WBC silver heavyweight champion believes he's just one fight away from the world title shot. The man that was born right there in Delta State, about 6 feet 5 inch orthodox fighter, who turned professional with a perfect 5-0 record and famously scored the fastest victory in boxing history when Curtis Harper walked out of the ring after 1 second in August 2018. He's been called the silent roller, compiling a bit of good record for himself: 20 wins, 1 loss, and 1 draw, with 14 of those coming in knockouts. His only lost defeat against Frank Sanchez in October 2021. Most definitely, I will be seeing him on the world title path this year 2026. Things you love to see, most definitely all length in glove. Let's see how he's able to do the best for himself right there in the ring for this calendar year. And away from that, right now into the world of Taekwondo on the show this morning. The Nigerian Taekwondo Federation has unveiled the 2026 calendar of activities with emphasis on grassroots development and talent discovery. The calendar was presented and approved at the Federation's board meeting held at the MK Abiola National Stadium, Abuja. And the communique shared with respondents, the board resolved that zones should be encouraged to organize more tournaments for scouts and also for young talent discovery. And away from that, right now into the world of cricket on the show this morning. The Nigerian Cricket Federation has also rolled out plans for 2 of its major events in 2026, cutting across the women's cricket and also grassroots development. After a 1-year break, attention will now turn to the women's national team as the female Yellow Greens will regroup for the women's T20I in March. The tournament, which began as a bilateral series with Rwanda, was not held last year due to the busy calendar of the Nigerian Cricket Federation. And ahead of this year's tournament, the body has also affirmed its readiness to use the competition as a high-performance pathway for the team. The female Yellow Greens won the tournament for the first time in 2023, but they surrendered to the title to Tanzania in 2024. More stories coming through from other sports on the show this morning. Talk about the Winter Olympics, which will be starting right there in Italy from tomorrow. Nigeria definitely have a sole representative, and also Africa's sole representative, Samuel Ikpefan, will be Nigeria's only athlete at the Milano Cortina 2026 Winter Olympics, where he's set to compete in cross-country skiing, extending the country's modest but growing presence at the Winter Games. The 33-year-old who will be representing Nigeria for the second time at the Winter Olympics. Of course, the last time he competed was at Beijing in 2022 in China right there. Ekpefan finished 73rd in the men's sprint free and also opted out of the 15-kilometer classic after experiencing COVID-19 complications, but still carried Nigeria's flag during the closing ceremony. And right there at the Milano Cortina 2026, Ekpefan is scheduled to race in the men's sprint classic on Sunday, February 8th at about 1:25 p.m. Nigerian time before returning to competition in the men's 10-kilometer interval start free on Friday, February 13 at about 11:45 a.m. right there. The games are expected to feature about 2,900 athletes from 92 countries competing across 16 sports in 116 medals, all for grabs as well. Straight into the world of boxing on the show this morning, Nigerian Basketball Administration has been plunged into uncertainty after Congress members of the Nigerian Basketball Federation petitioned the International Basketball Federation seeking formal approval for fresh elections and accusing the board of illegally remaining in office beyond its constitutional tenure. In the petition made available to newsmen and signed by Maxwell Kumoye on behalf of the Nigerian basketball stakeholders, the Congress members warned against allowing what they described as beneficiaries of illegality to profit from the crisis, invoking provisions of the NBBF Constitution, which recognize FIBA as the supreme authority for global basketball. The Congress members have asked the world governing body to intervene. I mean, we're having a bit of discussion on the Sports Hub. I think that should be on Monday. It was it last Friday? We're talking specifically about Nigerian basketball and how in the last couple of years it's gone into obscurity. The only time you get to hear about Nigerian basketball is when they are preparing for the Basketball African League, most especially in the men's basketball. Then you see that a bit of competition is being put up between 8 teams, and then from there you get to pick a winner that will go and represent Nigeria at the Basketball African League. Honestly, well, let's keep it at that. But right about now, some stakeholders are coming to say that the engineer Musa Kida-led administration are now overstaying in office, more like, look here, your time is up. Let's conduct another election. All right, away from other sports right now, let's go straight into the world of football on the show this morning. Still on the home front, a couple of days ago, inspectors from the Confederation of African Football have concluded an assessment of Nigeria's proposed host venues for the final phase of the 2025-2026 CAF African Schools Football Championship, describing the facilities in Remo as exceptional and setting a new benchmark for the region. The 7-member CAF delegation completed the 2-day inspection on Wednesday as yesterday, examining infrastructure and equipment at the Remo Star Sports Institute, the FC Ebede Stadium, the Babcock University Teaching Hospital, and the Babcock University Guest House. It's been said that the visit formed part of the CAF evaluation process ahead of the Continental Youth Tournament scheduled for April this year. And away from that, talking about age-grade football on the show this morning, Senegal have also unveiled their squad for Saturday's FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup qualifying clash against the Nigerian Falconets and have commenced preparations in Abeokuta ahead of the first leg of the third round encounter. The Senegalese Football Federation announced the list yesterday, with head coach Mbayang Thiam selecting a balanced group drawn largely from domestic academies and also clubs, alongside a handful of foreign-based players. The team is headlined by the 2025 CAF Young Player of the Year finalist Aji Ndiaye of Bulgaria, who is 18-year-old, with Shakara Diani of AS Bambi and also Fatou Ndiaye Kamara of Leeds Ahmed supporting as backup goalkeeper, while the squad also features defenders such as Asisa Tufor, Adamasiga Diop, and also Ndeye Abi Bro. Hopefully, they are able to get the job done. But yeah, don't forget that they will be playing against the Falconets of Nigeria. The Falconets, by the way, played a pre-tournament, a pre-match against the Oyo State All-Stars, and they thumped the Oyo State All-Stars 15-0 just a couple of days ago right there. This fixture on Saturday will be forming the first leg of the penultimate qualifying round for the 2026 World Cup finals that will be hosted right there in Poland, and whoever wins between Nigeria and Senegal will be facing either of Guinea-Bissau or Malawi for a place at the tournament later this year. And away from the home front right now, still bringing you stories coming through from the ever exciting, ever dynamic, and sometimes controversial world of sport. This is Sports in a Jiffy on Empire Radio 102.1 FM. We serve this package Mondays to the Fridays from 10 a.m. down to the flip side of 10. I call it your early morning sport tonic. Whether you're a sports person, you're someone loaded to play the game, or maybe an athlete serve, this is the best place for you to be because the early bird has gone around the world to catch the scores, and I am more than willing to serve it to you just the way you like it, a bit and in pieces, tiptoeing through all of the major stories making the rounds in the world of sports. Quickly, let's take a bit of basketball stories on the show this morning, because a bit of trading currently happening right there for basketball enthusiasts. Let's talk about James Harden, who at the point in time, what on the street says, he called for his transfer away from the Los Angeles Clippers, but then the man has come out to say, no, I didn't do that. It was just time for me to move. Because what? The Clippers were not looking to extend his contract. He wanted about $80 million in extension, but they were not going to do that. So instead, he joined the Cleveland Cavaliers from the Clippers, and Darius Garland was also introduced in the game that was played early this morning. A bit of transfers currently happening in the NBA right there. I'll be bringing you more updates here on Empire Radio 102.1 FM. This is still Sports in a Jiffy. Don't forget that. And I'm here serving you the very best of stories, making the rounds in the ever exciting, ever dynamic, and sometimes controversial world. We're still talking about trade on the show this morning. It's been said that the Golden State Warriors have agreed to trade forward Jonathan Kuminga and guard Bobby Bodiiud to the Atlanta Oxford Veteran Center, Kristaps Porzingis. This marks the unofficial end of the Warriors' pursuit of Giannis Antetokounmpo. According to the team, the Warriors made several offers over the past year, but came away with the impression over the past 24 hours that Milwaukee Bucks won't be moving Antetokounmpo at the deadline and pivoted to other plans. This closed the chapter of Kuminga's 5-season roller coaster tenure with Golden State, delivering him a fresh start with the Hawks, and gives the Warriors a veteran stretch center on an expiring $30.7 million contract to plug into their rotation. Porzingis has been on the Warriors' radar dating to his previous playoff run with Boston Celtics, but then they've been on a persistent search for a rim-protecting center who can hit the threes, and also have long believed Porzingis would fit well in the fourth court next to Draymond Green, whom they now plan to keep despite dangling him in trade talks. Also, the Mavericks have agreed to trade 10-time All-Star big man Anthony Davis to the Wizards in an 8-player blockbuster designed to maximize Dallas' flexibility to build around star rookie Cooper Flagg. The Mavs will send Davis and guards Jaden Addy, D'Angelo Russell, Dante Exum to the Wizards for Chris Middleton, AJ Johnson, Malaki Branham, and also Marvin Bagley III, 2 first-round draft picks and 3 second-rounders. The first-round picks the Wizards included in the deal are the Thunder's 2026 selection and the Warriors' top 20 protected pick in 2030. That's according to the sources. And away from basketball talks right now, straight into the world of tennis on the show this morning, bringing you updates coming through. Because right about now in the world of tennis, we're seeing a bit of WTA tour events are currently happening, and the American also fought back from 5-0 down in the first set to beat Slovenia's Kaja Juvan in the last 16 at the Transylvania Open in Romania. In a second match in splitting with coach Francis Roig, Raducanu won 11 games in a row on the way to securing a 7-5-6-1 victory. Raducanu will now be playing Poland's Maja Cholinska in the quarterfinals. Raducanu had been on the brink of losing the opening set against Juvan, but a cross-court forehand winner helped her break in the 6th game, and she finally got on the scoreboard. Away from that, Great Britain's Sonny Qatar also beat lucky loser Renata Zarazua to reach the last 8 of the Abu Dhabi Open after original opponent and defending champion Belinda Bencic withdrew through illness. World number 9 Bencic became the first mother to win a WTA singles title since May 2023 when she beat Ashley Kruger in last year's final just 4 months after returning from maternity leave. Qatar, who came through 2 qualifying matches before beating Spain's Cristina Busca in round 1, was on course for just 57 minutes as she overcame Mexico's Zarazua 6-0, 6-3. And away from tennis talks on the show this morning, straight into the world of football, seasoning stories to get your morning up and going already. Big stories in the world of football, like I mentioned to you, just so you know. The final is now set in the English League Cup. It's going to be Manchester City up against Arsenal come March 22nd. Big game to look forward to, because I remember the first Carabao Cup that Pep Guardiola won with Manchester City, he had he had Mikel Arteta as one of his assistants during that particular game. What happens this time around when both managers are now on different sides? For Manchester City, it's been said that Pep Guardiola is telling the team that they will be looking to appeal Maguire's status for Carabao Cup final. Manchester City has said to ask the English Football League for special permission to play Maguire in the Carabao Cup, according to the coach. Don't forget that City booked their place in the Wembley final against Arsenal with the 5-1 aggregate win over Newcastle yesterday. Gay was not available to face Eddie side afterward, Guardiola said it was difficult to understand the rule that will also prevent the 25-year-old from featuring in the final because he was not registered before the semi-final first leg. Antoine Semenyo, who also signed in January, will be eligible because he joined from Bournemouth before the semi-final first leg at the St James Park on January 13. I mean, for Antoine Semenyo, though, don't forget that he got knocked out of this Carabao Cup with Bournemouth, and then he's now in the final. The same year, the same season. How football works, really. How football truly works. And away from that story right now, still taking more thoughts coming through from the world of football on the show this morning. Bringing you a couple of stories from the ever exciting, ever dynamic world of football. Away from the English Premier League, straight into French Ligue 1. Real Madrid Pro League, Hendrik has now made it 5 goals in 5 games. The returning striker as Lyon beats Laval 2-0 to reach the Coupe de France quarterfinals last night. The Brazil striker picked up a loose ball near the penalty area following a driving run from midfielder Pavel Sog, skipped effortlessly past one defender and then unleashed a powerful left-footed shot into the left top corner. The 19-year-old Hendrik is on loan from Real Madrid until the end of the season after deciding he needed more game times in view of the World Cup later this year. Brazil's coach Carlo Ancelotti was Andy's coach during his breakthrough at Real Madrid last season. Lyon's second goal against second-tier struggler Lorraine came cut of an own goal in the stoppage time. Arsenal also joined Lyon in the last 8 after winning 4-2 at the League 2 leaders Troyes, while striker Abdullah Sima netting twice in that game. Anyway, from that right now, quickly taking a trip into some of the matches that will be happening later today, especially in the Spanish Copa del Rey, where it's going to be Real Betis up against Atletico Madrid later this evening at about 8 p.m. And Nigerian time in Copa Italia is going to be Atalanta up against Juventus, while in the Coupe de France is going to be Strasbourg up against Monaco. Some of the top games that will be happening later this evening at about 9 p.m. Nigerian time. This game should be going down right there. Sports in a Jiffy on Empire Radio 102.1 FM, bringing you a quick update from the ever exciting, ever dynamic, and sometimes controversial world of sport. Back here tomorrow morning, same time.